Will you say when I'm gone away, my lover came to me, and we'd lay in rooms unfamiliar, but until now, until now, until now. Will you say to them when I'm gone, I loved your son for his sturdy arms. We both learned to cradle them, live without, live without, live without. Will you say when I'm gone away, your father's body was Judgment Day? We both dove and rose to the riverside, riverside, riverside. Will you say to me when I'm gone, your face is faded but lingers on, 'cause light strikes a deal with each coming night, coming night, coming night, coming night, coming night, coming night, coming night.
Good morning. And welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond. My name is Erica Sims. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm honored to serve on your board of directors. Today, I'm wearing a brown sweater and a gray skirt. I'm a mid-40s white woman with shoulder-length gray and blonde hair. Our community is a community of many faith journeys and beliefs, committed to being deliberately diverse and fully inclusive. We want you to know that whoever you are, you belong here. We continue the legacy created over 192 years ago of a community of many faith journeys and beliefs united in a single covenant. We are a community fully inclusive of adults, youth, and children, and together we explore our connection to each other, the sacred, and to all life. If you are a visitor here today, we welcome you and look forward to meeting you. Now, if you could please silence your cell phones. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for the warm welcome. I had to remember how to get here this morning. But it's so good to be back with all of my beautiful people here. In case you've forgotten, I am the Reverend Sherman Z. Logan Jr., and I still have the privilege and honor of serving this wonderful congregation as the senior minister. I'm still tall, black, brown skin, white beard, bald head. I'm wearing a gray plaid suit with a gray bow tie, white shirt. I use he, his, him pronouns. I'm wearing a white stole. And I'm so happy to see all of you this morning. Joining me this morning, Leanne Luskins, Director of Lifespan Faith Development. Lynn Edwards, our Worship Associate. Jamie Kilpatrick, Worship and Music Director. Providing administrative music, our youth ensemble. Hymn leaders, Barry Ramsey and Hyde Bain. In the tech booth, Jeremy Whelan and Eric Bowers. And Ted Marion will be our late pastoral associate who will be on duty after the worship service. And you can find Ted in the conference room right next to the receptionist desk. Now it's time to service where we welcome our visitors. And if you are visiting with us for the first, second, or third time, and as you are comfortable, please raise your hand, and Jamie will bring you the mic.
My name's David. This is my first time here. Just woke up. I normally haven't been to church in decades. All I do is work, and I had a weekend off for the first time in forever, and I was like, I want to meet some new people. So.
Hi, Dave. My name is Skylar. I just moved here a few months ago from Northern Virginia, and I'm excited to meet people here as well. And yeah, this is great.
Welcome.
I already forgot. I just remembered this direction. There we are.
Hi, I'm Matt. This is, do you want to say your name? This is Audie. My wife Emily and our other daughter Georgia are coming in. But we're new. We moved from Northern California here to Richmond, and we're just excited to find a community. Thank you.
Welcome.
Teamwork bedroom.
Hi, my name is Cynthia. I'm a member of the Dallas First UU. My husband, Craig, and I are retiring back here to Richmond now after being gone for 40 years.
Wow. Welcome.
Becky, want it? Morning, Becky. The date's getting close, right?
So it's tonight. So my name is Becky. I am a teacher, artist, local performance artist, and I am actually doing my solo show here tonight at 5 p.m. Yes, it's called Penis Envy. So thank you to Ginger for inviting me to come and do it for you all. She saw it at Firehouse Theater. And my kids are here today, both of them, Gertie and Ricky. Thank you all for welcoming us. Really enjoyed coming.
I love that. That's awesome. You're not new.
No, I'm not new, but I saw Penis Envy at the Firehouse also, and I want to plug it because it was wonderful. You will laugh and you will be inspired, and I highly suggest you come tonight at 5 o'clock.
Why am I going this way?
Okay, thank you, Jamie. And welcome to First UU. Now I invite you all to rise in body or spirit and take a moment to greet your neighbors. from Reverend Rebecca Savage. Rejoice. Rejoice with full hearts, beloved people of blessings. Rejoice. May this time of worship celebrate what we know at our core. Blessings are real and ours to claim and radiate. Blessings are abundant and ours to revel in and pass along. Blessings are transformational and ours to be challenged by as we grow towards the faith we know we can be. Rejoice.
We have special guests to light our chalice this morning, so Miles and David Brewer, if you would like to come on up.
The abundance of our lives together. We light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude as we celebrate the abundance of our lives together. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another and offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other. For it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us. By Katie Savani Gifflin.
Thank you, David and Miles. Now please rise in body and spirit and let us sing our opening hymn, For All That Is Our Life. Our share of the plate recipient for November is Health Brigade, and I now invite the representative from Health Brigade to please come forward.
So I apologize. I'm not with Health Brigade. I'm actually a member here, but I don't know what happened to the speaker this morning. Her name is Patient Salgado. She's with She's the donor engagement officer for Health Brigade, and I'm just going to read her comments. So it's such a joy to be together today and to have a moment to share who we are at Health Brigade, where we've come from, and what we continue to build together. Health Brigade began over 50 years ago, back in 1970, when 2 doctors, a nurse and a reverend, saw a need in Richmond, a need for health care that was free, accessible, and rooted in compassion. They opened the Fan Free Clinic, the first free clinic in Virginia, built on a radical idea that healthcare is a human right. From those humble beginnings, Health Brigade has grown into a trusted home for care, still free or low cost, still judgment-free, and still deeply connected to the people we serve. Our doors are open to everyone, with a special focus on those who face the greatest barriers to care. Today, our services span medical, mental health, and health outreach. We provide gender-affirming health care for our LGBTQ community, behavioral health counseling for those navigating trauma and life's challenges, and critical support for people living with HIV, and a comprehensive harm reduction program for those affected by substance use disorder. But numbers and programs only tell part of the story. What really defines Health Brigade is their presence in the community, the way they show up and meet people where they are. They've created a safe space for someone to simply exhale and be seen. Every day, their staff and volunteers carry forward a legacy of radical care, the kind that listens first, the kind that treats every person as worthy and whole. So when you support Health Brigade, when you give, volunteer, or simply share their story, you're part of the same legacy. You're helping make sure that for anyone in Richmond who feels unseen, unheard, or uninsured, there will always be a place that says you belong here, you matter, you are cared for. Thank you for being part of this work in their community. Together, they're not just delivering health care, but honoring our shared humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Ford. Please look to the monitors for ways to give. The ushers now passing the basket. Offering be taken and most graciously received.
Thank you all so much. My name is Leanne Luskin. I use she, her pronouns. I am a 46-year-old white woman. I have strawberry blondish hair pulled back in a ponytail today. I have on a black top, and I'm wearing a black and white keffiyeh scarf to show my love for the people of Palestine. On the first Sunday of the month, typically, we hold our multi-generational services where all ages worship together. On other Sundays, we have programming for the children on the lower level. I love our Sundays together when we hear little voices and there is a different energy in the room, and it is worth celebrating. During our multi-gen services, there is usually a time for all ages. Sometimes it's a story, sometimes it's something else. Today, it's a story. So I would like to invite any of our young people, young at heart people, folks who just want a little change of scenery from where you're sitting. You're welcome to come join us in our lively bunch here on the steps. We have some coloring materials if that entices you. And we'll hear a story. All right, friends, how's the sound? Are we good, Miles? Okay. All right. I have a wisdom story to share with you about gratitude. Once upon a time, in a dense forest, there lived a whole flock of birds, sparrows. And amongst these sparrows, there was one young sparrow who was just grumpy and like dissatisfied, not happy with what he had most of the time. This young sparrow could find anything to complain about. The food, the weather, the nest, no matter how cozy and comfortable they all were. And you might imagine that after a while, the other sparrows didn't really want to spend much time with him anymore. He was pretty negative. So one day, he decided, I think I'll go find somewhere else to live. So he did. He flew away for miles and miles, and he finally found this lush green garden with all kinds of beautiful flowers and fruits and vegetables. And he thought, this looks nice. I think I could make a home here. And he did. He built a nest up high in the tree, and he just got straight to work gorging himself on all of these delicious fruits and vegetables. And he was pretty happy and content for a while. And then his greedy habits kind of started sneaking back in, and he just felt like he deserved more and more, to the point where he felt like the trees and plants weren't giving him enough food, and so he started to peck at them angrily. And the gardener noticed the damage that was happening to these plants and trees and thought, this won't do. This bird can't stay here. And so he set up a cage, and he trapped that bird. And so there the young sparrow was, alone. And after a while, he was hungry. And he started to be pretty remorseful about his behavior. And he was thinking he really should have appreciated what he had when he had it. Maybe he shouldn't even have flown away from his flock. And so he was there by himself for a while, thinking his thoughts. And eventually, a wise old sparrow was flying by and noticed and came down to talk to the young sparrow and asked what happened. And the young sparrow explained his story and what had happened. And the wise old sparrow listened really carefully. And then he shared this. He said, young friend, gratitude makes what we have enough. And the young sparrow knew that he was right and that he really needed to shift his thinking and start adopting a practice of gratitude because he had had enough when he was with his flock. And so the wise old sparrow flew to the gardener and talked him into releasing the bird, and he did. And so the two of them flew back to their flock, who welcomed them. And that young sparrow apologized to his peers for his negative attitude and how he didn't help, and he always complained. And he promised that from that day forward, he would be a different kind of bird. And he was. And when he shifted his thinking, he realized that he definitely had enough. He was kinder to his peers, he was more helpful, and he even started sharing with people who he realized didn't have, with birds he realized didn't have enough. And so that painful, difficult experience and some help from a friend changed his whole life around. And he realized that he was so much happier and he got along so much better with the rest of his flock. And they lived happily ever after. You were such excellent listeners, and I wanted to tell you something that I really like about that story is that it goes from gratitude being a feeling and a way of thinking for this young bird and into a practice. He was kinder to people, he was helpful, he shared, he was more generous. And I love that part of it because sometimes I think of gratitude as just how we feel and how we think about things, but it can turn into how we behave in the world. This was excellent listening. I'm grateful for all of you. Thank you. You're welcome to head back to your seats, or you can stay here in color. It's your choice.
Speak at that one for a second. Good morning, everyone. So, as we all know, gallery had been going on. So, the youth choir hadn't been able to rehearse like all month. So, we were like, what can we do that requires little to no rehearsal? So, we're going to offer you this. You're going to recognize it. They're going to do it twice, and then they'll invite you to join on the third time. So, all of the music they're going to do today is audience participatory. So, sing back, please. And y'all got it? Did I put a cape on? No, it was the other one, right? Oh, in that key. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter.
Thank you so much. So, friends, let's take a moment to breathe, to settle our spirits. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. And let us open our hearts together for a time of prayer. Spirit of life, source of love that binds us all together. We pause in this sacred moment to breathe, to listen, and to remember who we are. We are part of a great web of being, interwoven with one another, held by grace even when we forget in this hour. May we rest in that truth. We bring with us the fullness of life, our joys, our sorrows, our gratitude and our griefs, our certainties and questions. May all of it be welcome here. May we know that nothing we carry is too heavy to be held in love. This morning, we lift up those among us who are hurting, those who grieve the loss of a loved one, those who are living with illness or anxiety, those feeling the weariness from the weight of the world. May healing surround them, may courage sustain them, and may hope whisper softly that they are not alone. We give thanks for the quiet joy, for moments of laughter shared, for acts of kindness seen and unseen, for the beauty that greet us in ordinary days. May gratitude open our hearts to the holiness of all things. And we pray for our wider world, a peace where there's conflict, for justice where there's oppression, for compassion where there's indifference. Spirit of love, guide our hands and hearts to build a world where we all may flourish and where love has the final word. In this community of faith, may we be strength for one another. May we be light for the path ahead. And may we keep faith that together we can create the beloved community. May this be so. Amen.
Good morning. It's so nice to welcome Reverend Sherman back today on this another beautiful fall day in our neighborhood. The reading this morning is by Mark Nepo. I am often not grateful when I'm in the hardship, but to be broken is no reason to see all things as broken. That was a great lesson for me in my cancer journey. My first chemo treatment was so hard and botched, and I was in great pain, sickness, and fear while stuck in a Holiday Inn. Even though I felt broken in that moment, the sun was still shining, and down the street, a baby was being born, and somewhere else, people were making love, and someone was being grateful to someone else. All of it was happening at once. We tend to make what we're going through either everything or nothing. It's a seesaw. We make the struggle and the fear a descriptor of life and get caught in that and project it to being a worldview. But it's not a worldview, it's just our experience. So the challenge is to open your heart to what's happening beyond your moment, to the moment of life everywhere. For instance, I went to see my 94-year-old grandmother and found her sitting on the edge of the bed feeling glum. When I asked her what was wrong, she looked at the small window in her room and in her Russian accent said, "Oh, it's a gray day." I immediately looked at the window and saw that it hadn't been cleaned in 6 months. So I said, "Grandma, the window's dirty. We'll get it cleaned and I'll take you out in the courtyard." She looked at the window and with the recognition and humor of someone who'd been here for almost 100 years, she sighed and said, "Oh, got a dirty eye, see a dirty world."
You know, let me tell you a life it taught me, and maybe it taught you too. You can't reach resilience without first walking through the valley of gratitude. See, the world will tell you to keep moving, to push through pain, to tough it out like nothing ever happened. But real strength, real spiritual strength, doesn't come from pretending that hurt ain't there. No, it comes from noticing the blessings that remain, even when everything else feels broken. It comes from saying thank you when life gives you more questions than answers. You see, gratitude doesn't erase the storms. It gives you shelter while you're in it. And yes, the world tells us to push through, to tough it out, to stand strong no matter what. But real strength, real spiritual strength, doesn't come from ignoring the pain. It comes from noticing the blessings that remain, even in the middle of the storm. Because, church, gratitude doesn't erase our struggles. It transforms it. It doesn't deny the broken places. It helps us find the beauty in the crack. You see, gratitude is not denial, it's defiance. It's looking hardship square in the eye and saying, "You will not have the last word." Gratitude is quiet, steady rhythm of soul that refuses to give up hope. It's the power that keeps us from being swallowed from despair. It's the light that said, even here, even now, something good is still possible. And when we practice it, when we make gratitude a way of living, not just a polite word at the dinner table, we begin to find our footing again. We begin to remember that resilience isn't about avoiding the fire. It's about walking through it with grace. Because gratitude is how we remember that even in the storms, we are held by grace. Even in the storms, we are held by grace. Now, gratitude is not a denial of hardship. It's how we survive it. It's not pretending that everything is fine when it isn't. Gratitude is a holy act of defiance, a spiritual stance that says, yes, the world is broken, but beauty still blooms. It is the quiet courage to notice goodness amidst grief, to name blessings even when burdens are real, to honor what is still standing when so much feels unsteady. Gratitude is resistance against despair, and it is the sole way of saying, I'm still here. And let's be honest, gratitude isn't always easy to find, even on a day dedicated to its pursuits. You see, the research may tell us how good it is for our mental health, but when your aunt wants to talk about politics at the dinner table, and your father's giving your partner the side eye, it's hard to say grace over that. Am I right about that? And when conflict sits down beside the casserole and discomfort join the conversation, gratitude doesn't come naturally. But here's where hope rises. Gratitude doesn't disappear in harsh times. It just hides in plain sight. It's there in the breath that keeps rising and falling. It's there in the hands that holds out when the world falls short. It's there in the small mercy that reminds us that we're not alone. Because gratitude is always waiting to be found. Because gratitude is not a feeling, it's a practice. And that practice becomes our pathway to resilience, individually and communally, and in the systems we hope to heal. So this morning we come to remember that gratitude is not just the posture of the heart, it is holy work. And if gratitude is holy work, then resistance is the fruit that grows from it, that brings us to the heart of it. Gratitude transforms pain into power. You see, gratitude doesn't erase the pain, it transforms our relationship to it. And when we give thanks anyhow, we proclaim the power from the things that would drain our hope. Gratitude grounds us when the world spins wild and steady our hearts when life feels uncertain. It reminds us that we are more than what has happened to us. We are also what has sustained us. And every thank you whispered through tears, every small act of noticing what is still good becomes a thread of fabric of resistance. That's why gratitude isn't just a spiritual nicety, it's a strategy for survival. It is how our ancestors made it through the long nights of struggle. It is how activists keep showing up, teachers keep teaching, caregivers keep tending, and community keep rebuilding. Gratitude is what turns endurance into strength and strength into joy. And it is the quiet heartbeat of hope that keep us moving forward, one blessing, one breath, one act of love at a time. So let's turn this from the personal to the collective and think about this for a moment. What does gratitude mean to us as a people of faith? Now, I know some of us walked in here this morning carrying more than we can say out loud. You're showing up on faith, faith that maybe this hour, this gathering, this music, this silence might be enough to get you through another week. And yet, even in the midst of the storm, there is still something holding us. There's still something good we can name. Gratitude doesn't deny the storm. It reminds us that we're still standing in it. And you know, I don't need to tell you all this, but we are living in a hard season. Our nation is divided. People are angry and afraid. Too many of our leaders trade truth for power, and too many of our neighbors have forgotten to see one another humanity. And there's weeks when I turn on the news and feel the weight pressing down, political theater that leaves ordinary people stranded, the cruelty of those who demonize the poor, the state-sponsored violence and genocide against all of our siblings across the globe, the racism and all the other isms that still poison our public life, the voices that say, go back where you belong, to the people who built this country with their sweat and their song. And still, church, let me keep it real. even in the brokenness, even in the brokenness, I still believe that gratitude is possible. Not because the world is right, but gratitude is how we stay right within ourselves. When the world is unjust, gratitude keeps us from becoming numb. When the news is unbearable, gratitude helps us remember what's worth bearing. And when hate tries to take up residence, gratitude evicts it and said, not in this heart. Gratitude becomes a quiet rebellion against despair. And let me take this a little bit further, church. Gratitude is not passive. It is the act of holy resistance. And when we say thank you in a world addicted to complaint, we are rebelling. When we give thanks in times of scarcity, we're testifying that abundance is still possible. And when we sing through our tears, we're shouting to the universe, despair will not have the final word. If you need any proof, let me tell you a story. I remember a few years ago while visiting a beloved elder from my Baptist church. She'd been through surgery, lost mobility, couldn't attend worship anymore, and I expected to find her discouraged. But instead, she looked up at me with that light still shining in her eyes and said, Reverend Sherman, I thank God I can still feel the sunlight on my face. You see, beloved, that wasn't denial, that was defiance, that was faith declaring that I may not have all I want, but I have all I need for this moment. And that's the power of gratitude. It reframes the story, it doesn't erase the pain, and it keeps the pain from erasing us. And that leads to my next point, learning to notice what is still good. Resilience begins not in denial, but in noticing. And we pause to notice what is still good, what is still beautiful, what is still working, we find our way back to hope. And one of our great theologians, the Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman, once said, in the stillness of life's storms, we discover the quiet strength of the soul. Because gratitude is that stillness. It's the pause that let the soul catch its breath. Maybe it's the smell of coffee in the morning. Maybe it's the laughter of the child, the loyalty of friends, the kindness of strangers. Maybe it's this community. But even when we don't often see eye to eye, we still hold hands. Gratitude invites us to anchor ourselves in now, not the past that wounded us, not the future that worries us, but the sacredness of the present moment. And every thank you is a thread stitching us back to the present, reminding us that this breath, this life, this love is still worth giving thanks for. And as we breathe that truth, we go deeper still into the kind of gratitude that sustains the soul. My colleague, the Reverend Dr. Sherry Prudhomme, talks about what she calls deeper utilitarian gratitude. This isn't the kind of gratitude that floats on the surface. It is the kind that digs deep. She says for activists, caregivers, teachers, ministers, for anyone living in a high-demand UU community, gratitude is a spiritual tool against burnout. It's how we refill the well when the world keeps drawing from it. This kind of gratitude is not performative, it's practical. It helps us to get up and do the work again tomorrow. And you know, during my 17 years here at First UU, I've seen it. I watched members of this congregation show up year after year, serve on committees, sing at visuals, march for justice, teach the children, and still say, I am grateful to be part of something that matters. That is Unitarian gratitude that keeps the activists from giving up, the caregivers from collapsing, and this minister praying when the spirit feels tired. Somebody here know what I'm talking about this morning. And it brings us naturally to this, how gratitude strengthens our resilience. Gratitude builds our spiritual muscle. It doesn't make weight lighter, but it makes us stronger. Resilience doesn't mean we break. It means we bend and still come back upright. Like a tree in the wind blows, the rains fall, the branches sway, but the roots hold. And that's what gratitude does. It deepens our roots. And I've seen it in our congregation when folks are gathered for justice action after a long work day and still say, we are grateful to do this together. That resilience. When a member of the singers sang through grief and illness, that's gratitude made visible, and that's resilience. You see, gratitude gives us staying power. It keeps us from giving up on each other and on ourselves. And that staying power grows stronger in community. And gratitude grows stronger when it's shared. It is contagious like laughter and light. Your gratitude can lift another spirit. Your joy can hold someone's sorrow. Your thank you can become someone else keep going. And it's in that heartbeat, beloveds, in that rhythm of shared gratitude, we find the soul of our faith. Because when we give thanks together, we're not just naming blessings, we're building connection. We're weaving a web of care that holds us when life gets heavy. And that's why Unitarian Universalism at its best is not a religion of creed. It is a religion of relationships. And relationships thrive on gratitude. So we say thank you to our volunteers. We said thank you to our musicians, our staff, our elders. We affirm the divine spark in one another. We live out our deepest values, that love is at the center. And gratitude keeps that center strong, and we've seen it in love and action, especially in hard times. I remember back during the early months of the pandemic, when the great hall was empty. Our hearts were heavy. We were preaching to the cameras instead of people. We're told to stay 6 feet apart. Our groups couldn't gather. Our singers couldn't rehearse in person. And hugs were off limits. And that broke my heart, because I'm a hugger. And yet, week after week, people kept giving. You know, some send me notes saying, thank you for helping me stay connected. Some folks made calls to other members just to say, you're not alone. You see, that was gratitude in action. That is resilience through community. And beneath all of that, there was a theology of deep and life-giving. And our Unitarian Universalist faith teaches that gratitude is not just emotional, it is theological. And when we give thanks, when we acknowledge the sacred to life itself, whether you call it God, spirit, universe, or simply love, gratitude is how we say, I see you, I feel you, I trust that life is worth giving. Because gratitude is how we practice reverence without requiring belief. It's how we honor the interdependent web of existence of which we all are part. Gratitude says, I didn't make the sun rise, but I can rejoice in it. I can't control the storm, but I can marvel at the strength it reveals in me. I didn't earn this breath, but I can use it for good. In that way, gratitude becomes a form of worship, not a perfection, but a wonder, a way of saying, thank you, life, for showing up again, and I will too. And for those who are feeling weary this morning, this is where healing begins. So let me speak directly to the tired ones, the caregivers, the activists, the teachers, the parents, the ministers, the justice seekers, those who keep pouring from a cup that feels half empty. Gratitude is how we refill that cup. And when the world tells you to hustle harder, gratitude tells you to rest and receive. When the headlines scream despair, gratitude whispers, there's still good. And we cannot serve from emptiness, beloved. We cannot hear others if we've forgotten our old wholeness. So let gratitude be your Sabbath. Let it breathe between your battles. Let it remind you that your worth is not in what you do, but who you are, a beloved part of this vast sacred web of life. And from that rest, we rise to our communal charge. So let me ask you this morning, what are you grateful for? Think about that for a moment. What are you grateful for? I'm not talking about the easy stuff, but the deep down, soul-saving grace behind gratitude the gratitude that keeps you standing when winds blow hard, the gratitude that keeps you soft when the world grows cold, the gratitude that reminds you that you're still here, and that means hope is still alive. So maybe your gratitude is for the person sitting next to you. Maybe it's for this church that keep trying, keep loving, keep showing up. Maybe it's for the breath you just took. Whatever it is, name it, claim it, and carry it, and it would carry you. Because gratitude is not the destination, it's the pathway. It doesn't take away the hard times, but it gives a way through them. And so when you find yourself walking through darkness, let gratitude be your lantern. When the road feels long, let gratitude be your steady pace. When your heart feels weary, let gratitude remind you that love still abides. Let gratitude be your prayer, your practice, your pathway through resilience. Let gratitude strengthen your roof, soften your heart, and open your eyes to the beauty that still surrounds you. And when you do, you will find that even in the storm, there's a song. Even in the struggle, there's strength. Even in sorrow, there's something sacred still waiting to be seen. So let the people of faith, the people of love, the people of gratitude say together, Amen. And may this be so.
Cool. So, let me put me in the right key. That'll help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Repeat after me. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. And lead with love. Now, sing it after me. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with. One more time. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put. Wait for one foot in front of the other. Wait for it. All right. So now what's gonna happen is that this is a call and response song. So one of these here kids are gonna call out something, and you just sing it back. You got it? All right, let's lead with love one more time. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. You okay? Lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. One more time. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other.
Don't give up hope.
Don't give up hope.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
Don't you give up.
Don't you give up.
Keep moving.
Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with. One more time. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love.
Lift up your eyes.
Lift up your eyes.
Don't you despair.
Don't you despair.
Look up ahead.
Look up ahead.
The path is there.
The path is there. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love.
I
I know you're scared.
I know you're scared.
And I'm scared too.
And I'm scared too.
But here I am.
But here I am.
Right next to you.
Right next to you. Start clapping.
You gotta put one foot in front of the other. Lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. And lead with love.
Our chalice extinguishing is by Reverend Michelle Collins. It's called Our Gratitude Continues. This flame is extinguished, but our gratitude continues in action. May your appreciation for life's gifts translate into work that extends those same blessings to others.
Please rise in body or spirit as I give the benediction. Now, as you go from this place, let gratitude move with you like an old friend. When the road get rough, let it steady your step. When the night feels long, let it whisper, hold on, morning coming. May you find strength in every small mercy, hope in every act of kindness, and courage in every breath of grace. Go now with thankful heart, rooted deep in love, trusting that even in the storm, you are still held, still guided, and still blessed. May this be so. Amen. Ashe. And let us sing our closing hymn, One More Step.